Hey friend, what's up? It's me, Devin Marvell, back again with another video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Go ahead and do me a favor, start this video up by hitting that thumbs up button for me. And I hope by the time we get to the end of this journey, you guys all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Today we are talking about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, Episode 11. So this episode started out all cute with Brooke and Booby. They're having a nice, cute little romantic picnic by the beach. And Brooke is like, oh, this is so sweet, this is cute. And Booby's like, you know what, chivalry ain't dead. You know what I'm saying, gotta treat the ladies right. And Brooke's like, oh, so that's how you got Hazel. And Booby's like, oh man, I'm not even trying to hear all that. Booby says that Hazel likes him or liked him, but he was never trying to go there with her like that. And Brooke says that she's just super annoyed, like this whole Hazel thing is like one of the most annoying things that's ever happened to her in her life. Hazel is going in on her on Twitter, calling her broke and all this, that, and the third. Booby tells her, you know what, don't even worry about all that. You just keep continuing on, just being a boss. And I'm like, wow, y'all really love that word on this show, don't you? Booby asks Brooke, so do you want to, come kick it tonight? And Brooke is like, I can't, gotta be home with the kiddo tonight, but maybe we can, link up some other time. And he's like, well, how about we go to Catalina, spend a weekend or whatever. And she's like, oh, so what we gonna be doing in Catalina? And I'm like, girl, crossword puzzles. Y'all are gonna be, So she agrees, and I guess they're gonna be going to Catalina, having a nice little romantic getaway. Speaking of Hazel, we see Hazel with Alexis Sky, and apparently they're getting their coochies done. Some type of vagina rejuvenation, detoxing thing. I don't know what they're doing, They're at some type of Korean spa, and they're getting their coochies did, okay? Alexis informs Hazel that she is over all the whole Masika drama. She says she tried to talk to her like a grown woman, and Masika tried to fight her. And I'm like, well, that's pretty much what I saw too. So yeah, it is what it is. I hope that it is over. I'm just tired of it. Like, damn, y'all have dragged out 11 episodes of this same drama. Like, how do they do it? Hazel fills Alexis in on how her mom met Rose Burgundy and wasn't really feeling him, kind of wants her to be with Booby. Alexis tells Hazel, well, Zell invited me out to the gay club, you know what I'm saying? You should come kick it with us. And Hazel's like, you know what, I'm gonna have to pass. But Hazel lets her know, hey, you never know what you're gonna get with Alexis Sky. I like men's and I like women's. I am not delivered. Hazel then tells Alexis about all her little drama with Brooke and the whole Booby situation. And she says that her and Brooke agreed to meet up to squash the beef, but we all know. So then we see Zell, and Zell is out having a drink with Donatella, and I was hoping that they would bring Donatella back because I don't know what it is about this lady, but she just seems like a character to me. Like, I don't know. Like, her face and just that accent, just like, and I mean that in the most respectful way. Like, she just looks like somebody, like, I just want to know more about you. Like, what is it? I don't know. But, so, him and Donatella, they're kicking it, they're chatting it up, and Donatella is like, oh, I think I saw some of your work with Masika. And he was like, yeah, Masika, him and Masika ain't really cool like that anymore. He says, I guess he's working with Donatella, who is Ashley Gold's manager. Now, Ashley Gold is Ty Dolla $ign's little sister. So, yes, if you just try to keep up. So he says, it's nice to be working with Ashley, who has more of a fashion body, more slim and slender, because sometimes he works with people and they don't have a fashion body. Pretty much shading the hell out of Masika. So Zell leaves Donatella to go kick it with AD. I guess, she's in the same club or whatever. And AD is just telling him, like, she's just exhausted with this whole Moniece situation. They're just not getting along. They're not really having sex like that anymore. Even when they moved in together, they weren't really having sex. She was trying to get it here and she was trying to get there. And, it just wasn't, it just hasn't been what it was. She felt very forced into moving into the situation and trying to start a family and all that good stuff. So Zell's telling her, you know what, you just need to unwind. Look at all these beautiful women out here, have your pick of litter and, just have a good time. So then walks Alexis Sky, who she says even though she patched up things with Moniece, she just can't help but, just give it this opportunity to piss Moniece off and be all up on her girl. And I'm like, you're so childish. Like, it's just so childish. But then it starts making sense to me, like, oh, okay, so this is why you guys are making sure that we knew that Alexis is trisexual and she'll try anything. Okay, I see you. I see you loving hip hop. I see what you're doing. So the AD decides she's gonna play stupid and act like this is not a problem, that this won't cause a problem, because they patch things up, so this should be fine. You know, her grinding up on Alexis. So Alexis and AD get on the dance floor and, you know, they grinding on each other. And I guess Love and Hip Hop wants us to believe that somebody on that dance floor was sneaky enough and cared enough to record them too. You know, so this is setting us up for, I guess, the big breakup between Moniece and AD. Like, who would waste the space on their phone for that? Like, I just don't. Meanwhile, Moniece goes to meet up with Masika, and she just pretty much wants to reassure Masika that she's still Team Masika. She wants her to know that she didn't have anything to do with Alexis, Sky, and Lyrica ambushing her at her event. She says that, you know, that was all Mr. Ray. You know, she just wants her to know that. And Masika's like, yeah, you know, I believe you. That's not really your character or anything like that. You know, she's like, it is what it is. She said, you know, I didn't want to jump on her, but there was one Gemini side that was saying, you know what, girl, just get up and walk away. And then there was other Gemini side that said, you know what, girl, hop over this couch and get that bitch. And being someone, you know, I'm a Leo myself, but being someone who is in a relationship with a Gemini, who has friends, very close friends that are Geminis, I believe her. Moniece also tells Masika how Zell trampled over her to try to fight Mr. Ray. And Masika was just like completely annoyed at hearing that. And you could tell that she's kind of over Zell in general. She says that Zell was homeless and, you know, couch surfing, and she helped him out. You know, the reason that he has most of the connections that he does have out here is because of her. Moniece also says that, you know, AD didn't come home last night. And Masika's like, girl, this whole situation with you and AD, y'all just need to figure it out. But Moniece is like, well, check this out. Apparently, Tiffany is the one who sent the video of AD and Alexis grinding up on each other to Moniece. So Moniece shows the video to Masika. Masika's like, oh, well, I mean, that looks like Alexis to me. I mean, she does what she does. It is what it is. But Masika does say that she'll help take out the trash that is Alexis in one of Zell's hefty bags that he keeps all his belongings in. I was like, ooh, that's a good one. We see Chanel, West Coast, and Nikki Baby kicking it by the pool, and Solo Lucci comes by and joins them. And apparently Solo wants to get at Chanel. You know, I guess he's attracted to her or whatever. I cannot see them two together. I don't see that working. I mean, besides the whole he is 100% hood and she is 100% not, they just, I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, even when he was flirting with her and she was flirting back, like the chemistry just wasn't there. Like, I just don't see it for these two. But he says that, you know, he wants to take her out on a little date. So she says, you know, I like to go bowling. And they decide that they're going to go on a little bowling date. So then we see them on a little bowling date. It's Chanel, West Coast, Solo Lucci, Miss Nikki Baby, and Safari. So they are all on this little bowling date. Nikki says to Safari when they walk to the side, like, he's too hood for her. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you're right. But Solo and Chanel seem to be hitting it off a little bit. They agree that they're going to go into the studio, work on some music together, you know, drop some beats. And, you know, Chanel was telling him how she's been doing music her whole life and, you know, just all that good stuff. So that's pretty much what's going on over there. So let's just keep it moving, shall we? Now back to Moniece. So Moniece decides she's going to go ahead and pop up on AD. AD's at work. What does AD do exactly? Is she like a creative director? Is she a photographer? She works for like a fashion? What is it that she does? I'm not sure. But anyway, she pops up on her while she's working. They decide that they're gonna have a little conversation. AD pretty much just lays it all out there. Moniece brings up the fact that, you know, she saw the video of her grinding on Alexis, and AD says, well, at least that caught your attention. And I'm like, I thought AD was cool, okay, you know what I'm saying? I thought AD was real cool, laid back, it's just super cool stud chick, but sometimes these studs just be a little messy, and AD is one of those. You know, you sitting here talking about you're grinding up on this girl that your girl doesn't like to get her attention. That's not how you go about that. You're a grown-ass woman. Do better. So she's like, yeah, at least that caught your attention. And Monique, then she starts saying how, you know, she felt trapped into moving in with Monique and starting this whole family because before Monique, she was out here popping bottles. That's what she did. And it's like, girl, nobody forced you into anything. If you did not want to move in with Moniece, you didn't have to. If you did not want to play stepmom into her child, you did not have to. You didn't have to do anything. Moniece laid it down what she wanted. She wanted a serious relationship. She wanted you to move in. She wanted a family. If that's not where your priorities were, if that's not what you wanted in your life, then you should have kept it moving. But instead, you decided to go ahead and play with this girl, play house with this girl, and now you want to act like it's her fault that it's not what you thought it was going to be, or that you left your old life behind, or whatever the case is. No. Own up, take some responsibility for yourself and your own actions, and let that be that. And then she even goes to say, as far as to say that Tiffany was probably right, that Moniece was using her. And I'm like, honey, if anybody was benefiting from this relationship, it's you. But AD says that she's gonna move out, and Moniece says, look, I told you if you move out, that's the end of the relationship. And so that's pretty much that. You know, Moniece and AD are done. Keisha Cole is out shopping with Booby, you know, getting some clothes for their child, and Booby asks Keisha, oh, do you miss me at the house? And Keisha's like, no. Keisha is so done with Booby and so completely 100% unbothered by him and whatever he does. Like, they are friends. Like, they're just homies. Like, there's nothing more, nothing less. Like, I don't think that these two are still sleeping together or anything. Like, not for fun. Like, done. Like, Keisha Cole is done, okay? But she's like, no, I don't miss you in the house. You never took out the trash. He's like, I did take out the trash. She's like, no, you never took out the trash. But Keisha does ask him, so what's your love life looking like? And he says, I'm kind of in a situation. There's this girl. She's a good friend of mine. He says that he doesn't really want to ruin the friendship, so he's just kind of taking it real slow. And he lets her know that it is Brooke. And she says, you know what, you should just go for it. Y'all have been friends for a very long time. Why not? Keisha's just very encouraging of him moving on. She says that he deserves love, just not with her. So Marcus Black is in the studio with Bridget Kelly. They're working together. Then they sit down to talk about Brooke Valentine, of course. And Bridget fills him in on the fact that, her loyalty lies to him because they were friends before her and Brooke were friends. You know what I'm saying? She says that she let Brooke know that her loyalty lies to Marcus. And then she fills him in on the fact that Brooke was fighting with Hazel at Booby's little event. And she said that she was just shocked because it's like, well, if neither one of y'all are having sex with this man while y'all fighting over him. And that just kind of blew Marcus's. He's like, man, she out here fighting over other dudes now? Like, that's crazy. And he's like, let me show you something. So he goes to his backpack and he pulls out a ring, a beautiful ring. And he says that he was going to give this to Brooke and everything. And, he keeps trying to go to return it. But every time he does go to return it, something in him tells him don't do it. So apparently he's still holding on a little bit. He says that Brooke has been blowing his phone up, calling him, trying to, I guess, work things out, but he hasn't been answering. So it seems like Brooke does want to be with him, does want to make it work and try again, but they're playing with each other. They're out here playing games, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to just sit down once and for all and figure it out. Bridget tells him, you know what, just hold on to that ring a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? So I guess he decides that he's going to do that. Meanwhile, Brooke is having her little sit down with Hazel E. And Brooke's already there at the little restaurant at the table. And in walks Hazel E. with some shopping bags. And she sets them on the table. She tells Brooke, whatever you want, go ahead and order it. It's on me. I know your situation, forever broke or whatever. And Brooke is just like, you know what? Where I'm from, we don't throw shade, we throw these hands. So she goes to reach for something on the table to throw at Hazel, and then Hazel goes to reach for the same thing. So they're trying to throw something at each other, that doesn't work. Security, of course, steps in. Brooke just really wants to just fight Hazel. Like, I could tell by Brooke's demeanor, like, it's not real, like, beef or anything. It's not any real pressure. Like, it's just, she just wants to beat her ass and let that be that. Like, her demeanor is just so cool, calm, and collected. Like, you could tell, like, look, she just wants to handle this business and keep it moving. But Hazel, just, she's so gross and delusional and just annoying and obnoxious and just ugly and just everything. Just terrible. Just, ugh. So she's over there still calling Brooke broke, talking shit about Brooke. Brooke's still trying to fight her. And I'm sitting here annoyed because I'm like, why do you guys always try to fight each other on this show? Has one person on this, okay, since the beginning of Love and Hip Hop, okay, I don't think anybody since Chrissy was on this franchise has successfully fought somebody else. I feel like that was the first and the last time somebody's hits actually connected with somebody while the cameras were rolling. It's not gonna happen. It's not, okay? Mona and her people are not going to let y'all fight. So y'all are wasting time and energy trying to jump across tables and flip tables, throw things. Like, it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to do just like Moniece did. Wait till the cameras are off, find out where that bitch at, pull up, and get it popping. But y'all are showing out for the cameras, trying to make it seem like y'all are hard body and tough. Now, I don't think that Brooke was showing out. I really think that Brooke is about that life. I think that Brooke really just wants to beat Hazel's ass, and I want her to. You know, I think that Brooke would beat Hazel's ass. Maybe Hazel will beat her ass. At this point, I just want to see Hazel get her ass whooped. The next scene we see Brooke in, she is at an event for Miss Diddy. Now, Miss Diddy is, she is a mogul. You know, I've heard her name for years and years and years now. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it is she does, but I know that she is out here. She's been in these streets working hard. I know that she's an entrepreneur. I'm gonna have to definitely do some research into her, because maybe I can get some tips, okay? But yeah, so she's at this event for Miss Diddy, and she's talking to Miss Diddy about Boobie, how Boobie wants her to go to Catalina and stuff, and Miss Diddy's like, I hope you said no, and she's like, no, I agreed, and Miss Diddy's like, well, I invited Marcus Black here, you know, I just feel like y'all need to go ahead and talk and figure this whole thing out. So when Brooke spots Marcus over there talking to Bridget Kelly's man, she goes, sits down. She's like, hey, Jane, you know, what's up? Can I talk to Marcus real quick? And Marcus is like, we tried that. No, I'm good. You know, he was just really, like, not here for Brooke at all. So James is like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all talk anyway. So he goes ahead, he dips out, says bye to Brooke, and they just start talking, and pretty much they're both hurt. You know, they're both out here, they both hurt each other, and they're two hurt people, and they don't know where to go from here. Brooke says that she is sorry about the way that she handled him, but she's not sorry for what she did. And Marcus says, you know, it's just crazy because it's like when you told me to call Jade up, I called her up, she showed up, I chumped her out, you know, squashed that I was in that, and then you out here running around town trying to make me look like a sucker with this Bowie guy. And he was like, you know, my mom loves you, my daughter loves you, like you out here got me looking crazy. And then he brings up how Bridget told her that she was at Boobie's event fighting over him, and Brooke had egg all over here, okay? Her face was beat with egg. It was just, you could tell that she was shocked, and he even called that out. He was like, oh, you thought it was girl code? You thought she wasn't supposed to tell me? Like, yeah. And he was like, I know. So Brooke ends up, you know, breaking down crying, and she's like, you know, this isn't me. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know why I'm acting like this. This wasn't supposed to be that way. She was like, I didn't want to hurt you the way that you hurt me, and, you know, just this whole thing. Now, I'm so conflicted because on one hand, I'm like, yes, she shouldn't be playing these games. She needs to end it with Marcus and let that be that. You know, at the end of the day, they just need to end it. They're not meant to be together. They're not gonna be able to recover from the betrayal. That's just how I personally feel. But I feel like Marcus is really trying to take this high ground. Like, this didn't all start with him. Like, he didn't set all this into motion by messing with Jade. So, I don't know. It's just weird to me, this whole situation. But they need to figure it out because, honey, please let the next episode be the last episode that we talk about this because I'm tired. So Brooke leaves the party. Marcus is crying, Brooke's crying. Hopefully they reach some type of resolve soon. Last but not least, Zell is at a photo shoot for Angel Gold, or so he thought, when Donatella walks in with Masika. And he's like, oh, hey, Masika Kalisha. She's like, yep, that's my name. And Donatella looks at Zell and she's like, oh, you didn't get my calls. You didn't get my emails, my texts, my voicemails. And Angel, she's sitting in a chair and she's like, what's going on? And Donatella tells Zell, oh, we're just not going to be able to use you today. And he's like, oh, oh, well, that's okay. Y'all didn't have a budget. It was free. Y'all didn't have a budget anyway. And Masika's like, yeah, I brought a stylist, so no worries. You should be used to not having a budget. And he was like, you should be used to not having a budget. And she was like, oh no, sweetie, I always have a budget. Remember when you tried to forge that check and change that 3 to a 5? And he didn't deny it. He did not deny that he'd be out here scamming. And this is the second time it's been brought up that Zell be out here on this scam stuff. Because if you remember, Ray brought up the fact that he'd be checking out clothes in Keisha Cole's name and not returning them. So Zell's a stunt queen, okay, certified. So then Zell, obviously embarrassed, tries to tell Masika, oh, well, you need to watch who your friends are because you starting to look like them. You starting to look like Ray. You know, you packing on the pounds. And I'm like, So Masika takes a page out of Mama D's book, and I'm like, shout out to Mama D for starting this whole props thing on reality shows. So she brings out some dog biscuits and she starts throwing them at Zell, and he starts actually collecting them, and I'm like, wow, you are embarrassing yourself. Like, she got you, man. She got you. She got you good, because he did not know how to act or how to go about it. He started trying to throw the little doggy biscuits back at her. Security stepped in, they sit down, they're face to face, and she just was pretty much, you could tell that Masika was hurt. You could tell that she was hurt a little bit by Zell's actions, and she says, like, I was your friend, like, I was loyal to you. We've been friends for like 10 years, and for you to go ahead and act like this, like, it's crazy. And she's like, you know, I've been your friend, I've been loyal to you. And he's like, no, you haven't. You're always trying to bring Ray around, da-da-da-da. And she's like, and when you were sleeping on couches, and I put you up with this person and that person, you know, getting you all these connections. And he's like, well, you were on Section 8. And she's like, well, no, I was never on no Section 8. Like, Zell was just, he got. Like, Masika got him this time. My thing is this. If you have a good, loyal friendship of 10 years strong, why would you come on a reality show and ruin that? Because from what I've seen from Zell, the way that he's talked about Masika, the way that he's moved with Masika, like, I would never think that they have been friends for 10 plus years. Never. I would never think that they have been friends for more than a month or two at best. Because he hasn't been loyal, and we've seen that from day one. From day one, he was trying to bring Alexis around. Now, if that's your good friend, and you know how she feels about her, you would not be participating in that. But you care more about getting your camera time than your actual friendship, and that's so corny. It's so corny that people are out here really down to ruin friendships, genuine, true friendships that they've had for decades, you know, a decade plus or whatever, just to get some camera time. That's super corny. The way that he was moving with Alexis, and, you know, like, he really has no right to talk about anybody's loyalty because he's been a snake. And she said it herself. She was like, I went to bed one night, you were my friend, woke up, you were a snake. Like, it's crazy, and that's pretty much how it was. That's all I have to say about this episode. That's pretty much all that went down. So tell me what you guys think in the comments about this episode. Do you think that Brooke needs to be Hazel's ass? Hazel needs her ass beat, right? Can we all agree on that? Also, do you think that Zell's wrong in how he's handled this whole Masika-Alexis thing? Do you think Masika's wrong in the way that she handled Zell? I mean, I don't. Are you guys obsessed with Donatella? I'm obsessed with Donatella. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stairway to Devin. That is D-E-V-E-N. Also follow my Facebook page, Stairway to Devin. And I love you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being a friend. Bye.